Hey, what's going on, everybody? So today we actually had Terry Bainbridge, who's representative with the CIBC, very smart speaker, I've heard him speak a few times, come and give us a quick market update / forecast with what's happening in Canada and GTA. And I thought I would relay that message to you guys. Before I go any in depth, please understand, it's still only an opinion. They're very smart people, they've got lots of facts and figures at their disposal, and they're making an educated guess with what's happening, which I do tend to agree with. However, if you disagree, please don't just message me in all caps telling me I'm a market shill, a real estate shill, and real estate's overpriced. Tell me why you believe that and give me some facts and figures, and let's have an open discussion, and I'd love to hear what you have to say, because you'd be surprised with how many people just message me and tell me it's overpriced, you're a shill, blah blah blah. Anyways, so what is going on right now in the market is it's not a crash. A crash is when the prices go up exponentially for something and it gets based on speculation, and it comes crashing down when reality sets in. That's not the case here because we do have fundamentals behind us, which I'll explain to you. We're going through a correction / stabilization, all right? And the reason for that is real estate is supposed to be a stable asset class. It should not be going up 30-40% in a year or two, all right? It should be a slow, steady growth. It's a great tool for long-term wealth, not for something that people are just kind of speculating and flipping over and over again. So anyways, so what is happening right now? The market is cooling down. There was quite a bit of hype going on around it. There was not enough listings. It was kind of a perfect storm with a whole bunch of things going on. There was tight listings. We had a lot of lending practices getting changed. We had the Ontario Fair Housing Plan, which was garbage, implemented. The media jumped on board. Things that were happening in Vancouver, people were freaking out over here. Interest rates have gone up. So buyer confidence is extremely low right now, as well as sellers that kind of say, oh, maybe we should cash out. And they're going on board. So a whole bunch of stuff is happening where the pendulum is starting to swing the other way. However, in the long run and in reality, it's actually healthy. It's good for us. However, I don't foresee it kind of going much lower. I think it's going to be a slight lull and things are going to pick back up, same as what has happened in Vancouver. So moving forward, what does this mean? Why is this happening? Understand something. The two things that actually really affect the real estate market are the jobs as well as population growth, both of which are very strong in this area. The population growth is actually attributed to new immigrants, all right? The GTA grows by about 80,000. Even that number is growing annually. That's the size of Pickering every single year, all right? And so when they're living in Toronto, they get established, they settle down. After a few years, they're gonna end up buying, and more often than not, they don't live in GTA, they end up buying in the outskirts in the 905 area. It's not just Durham region, it's including Peel, Barrie, all those surrounding areas. However, Durham region is actually expected to grow at a faster pace because we've got so many developments taking place over here, in addition to the GO train expansion, as well as the 407 being expanded. All right, so there's a lot of positives happening, so don't get caught up in the hype of the market's crashing. The papers are just trying to get clicks. It's clickbait, all right? So understand that it's not all, just raining on everybody. It's a little bit of a correction, and eventually in the long run, things will continue on a healthy pace, and it'll continue to grow, all right? Another thing that's really growing for us is apparently it's getting harder for students to get visas across, in the States, and it's a little bit harder for out-of-country people to get schooling. So what's happening is they're coming to Canada. The Canadian university enterprise is worth about $34 billion, and that's expected to grow by $11.4 billion this year alone. Now, what does that mean? That means we're getting a lot of young, educated immigrants who are moving here to learn, and more often than not, after they're done their schooling, not obviously across the board, but more often than not, they end up staying where they've done their schooling. All right, so that means they're going to establish their roots. And they broke down the numbers. 98 universities in Canada, apparently, half of which are in Ontario, and half of those are in the GTA and surrounding region. So there's a lot of stuff happening in this area, so just do not get caught up in the hype. The world's not over. Things aren't ending. We're going to get through everything. It's just a little bit of a correction, which is good for us in the long run. If you have any questions, comments, and if you'd like to actually know what's happening on a macro level in Durham region, do not hesitate to contact me. Sign up at SoldByJacob.com. Contact me directly, Jacob@SoldByJacob.com, or reach me on Instagram and Facebook at SoldByJacob.com. And again, if you disagree with me, tell me why. Give me some facts and figures, and I'd love to go back and debate this. However, don't just sit there and caps lock me telling me I'm a market shill and real estate's overpriced, because I'll block you. I won't actually block you. I get a laugh out of it. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let me know. Bye.